Welcome to Nyeri County, the home of diverse culture. From all across the world, welcome to the magnificent county of Nyeri to discover and enjoy a diversity of natural and cultural heritage, as well as the generosity and friendliness of its people. Nyeri County is located in the former central province of Kenya, about 150 kilometers north of Nairobi. To get to Nyeri town from Nairobi, one could travel by road, which takes about 2.5 hours, or charter a plane to either Muiga or Nyaribo airstrip, which takes about 25 minutes. It is strategically placed in the fertile and densely populated highlands, with Mount Kenya lying to the east and the Aberdare Ranges to the west, located in the heart of the traditional territory of the Agikuyu or the Kikuyu people. It is bordered by Kirinyaga County to the east, Nyandarua County to the west, Murang'a County to the south, Laikipia County to the north, and Meru County to the northeast. Nyeri County is home to several great people who have put Kenya on the world map. Prime among them is the late Nobel laureate Professor Wangari Maathai, whose work in environmental conservation has remained legendary.
I grew up in the countryside, and as a small young girl, there was a huge tree that was near our homestead, and next to our tree was a stream. My mother told me to not collect firewood from the fig tree by the stream. I said, why? And she said, because that tree is a tree of God. I didn't know what she was talking about. But I would run there and collect water for my mother.
Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, is another great citizen of Nyeri.
Naapa kwamba nitatenda kazi zangu za urais kwa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu unisaidie.
His leadership and dedication to the Kenyan nation culminated with the promulgation of the new constitution in 2010, which greatly empowered the Kenyan citizens.
One of the greatest things we remember Mwai Kibaki for, he has been a big champion of education and development.
I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to Nyeri County. Nyeri County is a unique county because we are hugged by two mountains, one on either side, that is Mount Kenya and the Aberdares. And so we want to invite all visitors to come and enjoy the bliss of Nyeri. We also welcome you to Nyeri, which is the city, the scouting city of the world.
As Governor of Nyeri, I am extremely proud and gratified to be welcoming you here yet again to just attend this celebration of the founder of Scouting movement.
At hand to give you a feel of the Kikuyu culture is KIGERA Cultural Group. It is one of the many cultural groups in Nyeri County. Among the many things one might learn inside the woman's house is how to cook mukimo, a favorite Kikuyu dish of all times. It is made of maize, beans, Irish potatoes, and green vegetables, which are all boiled and mashed together in a clay pot, that is nyungu, to form a very healthy, tasty, and mouth-watering dish. Mouthful after another, a portion, itaha, served in a sizable calabash, kihuri, disappears in a matter of minutes. A Kikuyu traditional meal is not complete without drinking porridge, that is ushuru, which is usually made of millet and sorghum flour. The porridge could either be cooked or fermented to make ushuru wamukio. Gulp by gulp, a calabash of delicious ushuru drains down the gullet into the stomach, where it joins the mokimo, making an individual declare mwana mwega no da, which means health begins with the stomach. Should the sumptuous Kikuyu traditional meal arouse your interest to learn more about the Kikuyu traditional foods, you need not to worry. KIGERA Cultural Group will take you through an assortment of not just Kikuyu traditional foodstuff, but herbal medicine as well. You'll be amazed at the variety of diseases that different herbs are able to heal, leaving no disease without a cure. But there were harmful and poisonous herbs as well, with some of them being fatal. Barter trade was another activity that was popular among the Kikuyu people of Nyeri. The Kikuyu traded with their neighbors, the Ameru people. Goods exchanged included cattle, cereals, household implements, weaponry, among others. The favorable climatic conditions in most parts of Nyeri makes it conducive for agriculture, which is its main economic activity. Food crops such as maize, beans, sweet potatoes, and vegetables, as well as cash crops such as tea and coffee, are grown in the county's cooler regions with high annual rainfall. The drier places are mainly occupied by grasslands and cattle ranching, which makes the county popular for beef and dairy farming. Nyeri is among the first counties in Kenya to process and package its agricultural products ready for market within and outside the country. A visit to Iriaini Tea Factory in Gatuyaini Coffee Factory in Othaya Sub-County attests to this fact. The tea and the coffee from the county have been rated among the best in the world. To diversify food production, Nyeri County is leading in promoting fish farming and consumption in Central Region. Premier Trout in Kimathi Ward is one of the fish farms thriving in the county. For continuous improvement in agricultural productivity and sustainability, the county holds an agricultural show and education forum every year at WAMBUGU Agricultural Training Center, located in the periphery of Nyeri town.
We are very proud to have been invited by the county government of Nyeri to showcase our crops and the services we are offering in this county government of Nyeri.
To appreciate the diversity and quality of the county's agricultural products, all one needs to do is to visit Karatina Open Air Market. This market is located about 20 kilometers from Nyeri and 130 kilometers from Nairobi, and it is said to be the largest open-air market in East Africa. It is famed for its fresh products, which include all types of fruits, vegetables, cereals, arrowroots, Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, among other products. The market has been modernized with multi-storage stores to accommodate its large numbers of traders. Near Karatina Open Air Market is the historical Karatina railway station on the Nairobi-Nanyuki Railway. It was built by the Europeans who sought to establish farms in such fertile places as Naromoru.
Well, people felt they were going to create another dominion like New Zealand, They felt they were making a new country, and that country would be part of the empire. Then they had a tremendous sense of mission. It's old-fashioned today, but they felt that they had an imperial mission that was bringing something to Kenya, the British way of life.
The station was used as a drop-off and pick-up point for incoming and outbound goods, respectively. Tourism is the county's second economic activity. The main tourist attractions are the Aberdares and Mount Kenya National Parks, which will beam with the diversity of wildlife, including some of the big five. From Nyeri County, one could easily access Mount Kenya through Sirimon route in Meru County and drive all the way to the Old Moses Camp, which is about 15 kilometers from the main road. At this point, the Lenana and Batianic peaks are a view to behold. In addition, the county is rich with unique natural, cultural, and historical features which leave tourists spoiled of possible destinations for their enjoyment. The huge sacred fig mugumo trees found in different parts of the county easily attract those interested in discovering nature as well as the culture of the Kikuyu people who consider the trees sacred. Since time immemorial, Kikuyu elders have conducted sacrifices in the ambience of these trees to appease their god Mwenenyaga, whom they believe to live in Mount Kenya, that is Kirinyaga. Mathenge Wairegi, a senior citizen of Nyeri County, is among the elders who have continued to conduct traditional Kikuyu sacrifices under mugumo trees. Mugumo wa Nyakara in Kigwadi sublocation, Tetu sub-county, is one such tree. Under it, the elders gathered to offer sacrifices of peace and atonement to Mwenenyaga.
This shrine is significant because of three things. First, it's a very important entity in this area and indeed in the entire of central Kenya, because it is here that the Mau Mau fighters and their elders came and prayed.
One Kikuyu seer by the name Wangebu Wanyangarua, popularly known as Wamugumo, is said to have made his abode under the tree from where he interceded for his community in the period just before the Mau Mau struggle. Some Mau Mau fighters are said to have congregated and prayed under the sacred tree before going into the forest from where they waged war with the British colonialists. Deep in the Aberdare forests is another unique mugumo tree with a unique history. Besides being a shrine, the tree acted as the main post office where any information meant for the Mau Mau fighters in the forest would be delivered. There are also many natural caves in different parts of the county. The caves, which are mostly found near the rivers or deep in the forests, were also used as sacred shrines by the Kikuyu community. During the Mau Mau War, the caves were resorted to by the liberation fighters as hideouts. This resulted to some of them being bombarded and destroyed by the colonial powers. Narumoru Cave is one such cave. The cave that is located in the Narumoru forest at the foothills of Mount Kenya was used as a military base by the Mau Mau fighters, who designated its various parts as kitchen, sleeping place, dispensary, and armory. The entrance to the cave was damaged by bombardment from the British soldiers. KARIMA caves, situated along the banks of river Ruiru in Gaine sublocation, Mathira sub-county, were also used by the Mau Mau fighters. The cave was named after General KARIMA, who hid in it with a battalion of Mau Mau fighters from his region, whom he commanded.
Bara Mau Mau ni robo tio mai iguru kuri ngai ugo ni kuga ukiri cherio ni getha ukahana guke gikuri gya kubuthora bara ni ukore nene muno riu kiria karebe kire ari kamanda Ngai nĩ amũteithirie. Mũthamaki no ka Ngai. Mũgambo auge chagua mũthũngũ peke yake. Gĩthiĩ gĩthaka rĩ, na point igĩrĩ. Ciĩgue. Tũigate mũthũngũ njoke cukuru. Ndaga gũcoka cukuru. Ndakwe nĩ wega. Na tũigate mũthũngũ njoke cukuru. Ndeoneire ithamĩrio.
The large boulders and caves within Domboche Riverine Forest in Kahuru village in Mathira provided another hideout for the Mau Mau. Some of the caves are well hidden under the spectacular Kahuru waterfalls on Kahuru River. Women secretly delivered and hid food and other supplies meant for the Mau Mau here.
Kulingana na historia, ilikuwa ni mahali Mau Mau walikuwa wanakuja kujivisha. Wanatoa chakula na akina mama na inafishwa hapa.
The immense contribution of Nyeri County in the Mau Mau liberation struggle is attested by the large numbers of fighters that came from the county, including the leader of the uprising, Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi Washuri. Kimathi, who was born in Karunaini village, Tetu Division, led the Mau Mau struggle from around 1950 until 1957 when he was captured by the colonial powers at Karunaini in Muhoya location in Tetu. Dedan Kimathi was later executed and his body buried in an unknown place within Kamiti Maximum Prison in Nairobi. The spot where he was captured is now a gazetted national monument, a shrine and a tourist site. About 10 meters from where Kimathi was shot and captured is another spot where a lot of his blood spilled. According to a local narrative, it has remained mysterious and almost bare since nothing grows here but grass.
Kimathi areithirwo haria komio haha hatirĩ kĩndũ kĩmeraga nĩ ũndũ mũndũ ũcio arĩ mũthamaki na arĩ mũrute nĩ ũndũ thakame yaitĩkĩire haha.
Dedan Kimathi, now a celebrated national hero, has his monument standing at the center of the capital city, Nairobi, at a junction of a road named after him, Kimathi Street. Together with Dedan Kimathi, in Mau Mau's highest military rank of Field Marshal was another citizen of Nyeri County, Field Marshal Muthoni wa KIRIMA, the only woman to attain the rank of Field Marshal.
Ndamwĩra ona ngĩthiĩ gĩthaka ndarĩ mũriku na twathire na mũthuri na nĩ niĩ ndambire gũtonya mũthuri niĩ ngakua rĩrĩa Ngai ekenda na mũngĩenda ngue ndigũkua.
The sentimental memories of the Mau Mau are born in the minds of the ever-reducing remnants of those who participated in or witnessed the struggle.
Rĩrĩa ndatonyire mũtitũ gũthiĩ kũrũĩrĩra wĩyathi tũtiarĩ na mĩcinga twaire yao tukimatunya tukimahura na yao. Rĩrĩa tuonania na Kimathi nĩ endaga nduĩke mwandĩki wake wa kũigaga maandĩko make rekondi ciake na ngĩkĩnyita na akĩenda gũcoka kũndekia rĩu nĩ ũndũ ũcio andũ othe twathiaga o nake.
Various landmarks strewn across the county also show evidence of the struggle. The Mau Mau flag site, adjacent to Ruringu Stadium in Nyeri town, is where Mau Mau fighters from Nyeri and beyond are said to have resolved to take up arms and get into the forest after holding a big meeting that was addressed by Jomo Kenyatta on 26th July 1952. At this point, they raised a flag to signify that they were ready to sacrifice to earn their freedom back. At this same place, several fighters are said to have surrendered their arms after coming out of the forest on 16th December 1964.
Na hii kiwanja ilikuwa inaitwa Ruringu Stadium. Kiwanja ilikuwa inachezewa michezo ya Kikikuyu, ya michezo yoyote. Kenyatta alikuwa anajulikana Kenya mzima, ndiye alikuwa anatetea uhuru wa Afrika, wapewe uhuru. We want to rule our country. Na niho Kenyatta oigire. Na rĩu toni tũkũrũarĩ. Neno nĩ mũbebero hana fundari. Nĩ ngũnyita funda rwa thatha. Inyuĩ nĩ mũkũhota kũrũmia magũrũ mateke mayo. Tukiugĩrĩria ithuothe na andũ makiugĩrĩria mũno. na hau niho neire pio andu mari tayari kurwa na muthungu hatari gweterera.
The sites of colonial emergency villages and concentration camps spread throughout the county are another bitter reminder of the torture its residents underwent during the Mau Mau War, an experience that many hate to remember. The emergency villages were surrounded by huge trenches about 10 feet deep and 15 feet wide, whose floors were laid with sharp spikes meant to punish anybody who tried to jump over the trenches. The trenches, which were built with the citizens' own slave labor, were meant to punish and neutralize the Mau Mau fighters by denying them access to the villages for food and other supplies. An example of such a trench is available in Kanjuri sublocation, Mathira, just outside Karatina University. Spread across Nyeri County were also detention camps where those suspected to be Mau Mau fighters or sympathizers were subjected to untold torture that included cold-blood shooting, through beating, hard labor, and other kinds of inhuman treatments that led to the death of hundreds of citizens. The 152 acres Chinga Dam, located in Othaya constituency, was dug out between 1955 and 1958 by Mau Mau detainees, mostly using their bare hands in forced labor. It was commissioned by a colonial district officer for hydropower production and irrigation, which never materialized. Today, it serves as a source of water and fish, as well as a recreation site. Kangubiri is an example of a detention camp where many Mau Mau detainees were terribly tortured. Wambugu Wanyingi, a Nyeri County resident and Mau Mau sympathizer who was detained for a total of 9 years in various detention camps, miraculously survived the infamous Hola massacre, where 11 detainees were killed.
Hola massacre. No gitumi kia dwa mahonoke ni mutimio umwe muthugu akinyirie guo hau akiuga bu ono randu mekete atia uria maroragwo akihura thimu igithie Cairo handu hethi Ruraya andu a Cairo nao magitumira Ruraya thimu ni kindu kihanyukaga na ihenya muno na nigetha bara ewethire a Ruraya magitumira Kenya kai mwani na andu uguo niki na wa magika maikana matiragite ni mai maramanina manyuite.
There we had the evidence, and I was able through those documents to prove to the House of Commons that these men had in fact been clubbed to death by illegal behavior in the running of the camp.
After being killed, the suspected Mau Mau fighters and sympathizers would be buried indecently in mass graves, which were scattered all across the county and beyond. One such grave, located in KIGERA village in Kangubiri sublocation, lies a homestead whose owners keep unearthing skulls and skeletons from as close as a couple of feet below the surface. Two other such mass graves, one in Kiandu, Unjiru sublocation, Tetu sub-county.
Na uthikitwo andu aingi muno kinyona mundu ari ngumo muno etagwo mugumo athikitwo haha na wathikagwo andu hindi ya bara ya Mau Mau.
And another in Kirungi, Gikondi, are covered with trees.
Haha tuli ni ha General Gavumbi aria marathirwo mahaicite muti iguru twarwaga na muthungu gwitwo Buruku wa radio wa Mukurweini akindetha njara yorio kiremwo ni bara gikiura gicoka nginyitwo ndatwarwo thero gicirithio High Court ikindwira kinyonga tondå ndarä kä maramari ndatuä rwo gå itwo ngä twarwo Nairobi ngä heo njokie cira mbirå koguo ndarä må rå i wa mbara ngä rå ä ra wä yathi wa Kenya na twarwagä ra wä yathi na ithaka no gathå mbä nä twarwaga nake na andå arä angä na nä o mathikä two haha kaburi-inä ä no nä må gå nda wa kaburi wa Maumau.
Within Nyeri town and its environs are historical buildings and structures dating back to the colonial period. One such building is the Nyeri Native Law Court that was constructed by the colonialists in 1924 for use by village elders while settling customary cases. It is a gazetted national monument under the custody of the National Museums of Kenya. Osman Alu Shop was first shop in Nyeri town back in the colonial period. It was established by Osman and Mohammed Ali Ratanasi in 1901. The shop contributed to the building of such early institutions as the Mathari and Tumutumu hospitals. It has continued to offer its services to both Nyeri residents and visitors. The clock tower, located close to the Baden Powell Garden and which dates back to the colonial period, is another historical landmark in Nyeri town. Yet, the British colonial occupation and atrocities may not be the only memories Nyeri people have about their early encounter with the Europeans, for the entry of the first missionaries in the county was notable and did embed its own landmarks in the county. The first missionaries in central Kenya, who were Catholics, belonging to the Consolata Fathers from Italy, arrived in Tutho village in Murang'a County in 1901 and were hosted by Chief Karuri Gakure. A cordial relationship between Chief Gakure and Chief Wambugu wa Mathangani of Nyeri led to the latter inviting Gakure's guests, the missionaries, to Nyeri in 1903. They first arrived at Gikondi, then proceeded to Nyeri Hill, where they acquired 1,000 acres and established a mission. Part of the facilities they established on this land include the Mathari Mission Catholic Hospital, which has continued to give services to the people of Nyeri and beyond. Other facilities within the Catholic mission include St. Paul's Seminary, Nyeri High School, Nyeri Hill Coffee Farm, St. Teresa's Girls Primary School, and a secretarial college, among others. Another landmark of early missionary work in Nyeri County is found in Gikondi village in Kirungi sublocation, Mukurweini sub-county, where the famous nun, Sister Irene Stefani, of the Consolata missionaries came and settled in 1920.
When the first missionaries came to Gikondi, 1903, already they were accepted by Chief Karuri in Murang'a, Tuthu. That was the first mission, 1902. Nyatha, our sister Stephen, arrived here in 1920, but 1919 she was a teacher of Mary Immaculate Sisters. Her Becky history says that she was also in another country before she came Kenya, where she baptized the sick people. Nyatha is called Nyatha, a name which she was given by people because he was merciful. When people are suffering from plague, a sickness which could not recover.
Nyatha agĩcoka agĩkua mwaka wa 30. Atũtiga rĩ na agĩtiga masista angĩ kũu arĩa marĩ nao. Tondũ ũcio nĩ kwĩheana nĩ andũ anga arĩa makoragwo makĩenda mũno gũtwarĩra andũ ũhoro.
The nun earned the name Nyatha, which means Mother of Mercy, due to the compassion and mercy she showed to the people of Gikondi as she treated them of diseases and taught them catechism before she succumbed to a plague infection in 1930. Her acts of mercy and compassion are still embedded in the minds of the remaining few who encountered her. A shrine built in honor of the nun stands at Gikondi Catholic Parish at the spot where the wooden one-storied house she dwelt in once stood. About 5 kilometers from Nyeri town stands the Italian War Memorial Church, which was built in 1952. It houses the remains of 676 Italian soldiers and their African allies who died in the Second World War. The soldiers' names are inscribed on the church's wall in copper and bronze. At the front of the church, near the altar, is the tomb of Prince Amadeo de Savoia, the Duke of Ulster, who was commanding the Italian army in East Africa. He had been incarcerated by the British soldiers in the Macmillan House in Kilimambogo near Thika before his death. His statue and military gears are fixed on top of the grave. A special mass is celebrated in this chapel every second Sunday of November in commemoration of the fallen soldiers of war. Nyeri County prides itself as the home of the worldwide scouting movement. For 2 years, from 1939 until 1941, Nyeri County was home to the movement's founder, Lord Baden-Powell, and his wife, Olive Baden-Powell. During this period, the couple lived in a cottage within the Outspan Hotel complex within Nyeri town along Nyeri-Kamakwa Road. The hotel is situated in a serene environment overlooking the gorge of the Chania River. Living in its cool ambience and beauty made Baden-Powell remark, "Closer to Nyeri, closer to bliss." Baden-Powell named the cottage Paxton as he considered it their second home from Pax Hill in Hampshire, England, where they had lived for 20 years before relocating to Kenya. It is from Paxton that Baden-Powell coordinated all the Scouts' activities along his wife, who coordinated the Girl Guides until 1941 when he died and his wife returned to England.
Here in Outspan, it was started in 1927 by Sir Brooke Eric Walker, who was a British. This is where the founder of the Boy Scouts, Lord Baden-Powell, came to spend his last days.
Paxton is now gazetted as a monument and serves as a scouting museum, and most of the items that Baden-Powell and his wife left behind remain intact in the cottage. In addition, hundreds of items, especially scouting scarves, donated by scouts from all over the world, are displayed in the cottage. About a kilometer from Paxton along Nyeri-Kingongo Road is the garden where Baden-Powell's grave is situated in St. Peter's Anglican Church Cemetery. His wife's ashes were also interred beside his grave after her death in England in 1977. The grave is a gazetted national monument and a very important site for the Boy Scout and Girl Guide associations. Next to the garden has an information center for scouting movement. On 22nd February every year, which is Baden-Powell's and his wife's birthday, thousands of scouts from all over the world congregate in Nyeri and visit Baden-Powell's grave and Paxton to commemorate what is called the Founders' Day. This makes Baden-Powell's grave one of the most visited graves in the world. Located about 0.9 miles from the Outspan Hotel is the White RHINO Hotel. It was established in 1910 by 3 Europeans named Buckley Cole, Lord Cranworth, and Sandy Hurd. According to a popular story, the hotel was named after a rhino which was shot at the site in one of the numerous hunting expeditions by the white settlers. During the colonial period, the hotel gained notoriety as the first segregated hotel, exclusive for whites. Africans spotted in the vicinity would be chased away using guard dogs. The White RHINO Hotel was gazetted as a historical monument in 2001. Though it has undergone quite a bit of renovations, 4 of its rooms have maintained their original form so as to offer visitors a bit of what settlers experienced back in 1910. The Treetops is another historical hotel found deep in the Aberdares, about 20 kilometers from Nyeri town. Dating back to 1932 when it was built, the hotel became popular on February 5th, 1952, when Princess Elizabeth was spending a night there, ascended to the throne and became Queen Elizabeth following the death of her father, King George VI. The day before her ascent to the throne, she had attended a divine service in the Little St. Philip's Anglican Church in Narumuru. This gave the church, built during the colonial period, more historical significance.
Kanitha uyu wakithirio ni settler cia area ino na andu aria makaga kanitha uyu twari na mabuthu aingi muno thiini wa ukoroni metagwo Matariani.
The original 2-roomed Treetops House Hotel, which was literally perched atop a tree, was razed down by the Mau Mau in 1954 and was replaced with another one, mainly made of concrete and covered with tree barks a few meters from the original site in 1957. The hotel lies on an ancient elephant migratory route between the Aberdares and Mount Kenya. Its strategic location in front of natural watering hole and salt lake makes it a perfect spot for game viewing. In the heart of Aberdare National Park lies the Ark Hotel, whose name is derived from its semblance to the biblical Noah's Ark. From 1970, when it was constructed, thousands of visitors have enjoyed viewing a host of wildlife in the comfort of their lounges strategically perched on its 3 decks. At the overlooking floodlit Yasabara waterhole and salt lake, one is always sure to see different kinds of animals such as elephants, Cape buffaloes, rhino, warthogs, waterbucks, and many others that come to drink water and lick the salt. To have a glimpse of one of the rarer Big 5, rhino, one just needs to visit Solio Ranch Conservancy, which is only 22 kilometers north of Nyeri town. Renowned for its role in protecting and breeding of rhino, the conservancy also has other animals including buffalo, eland and gazelle. Not to be forgotten are the scenic waterfalls found in various places in the county. Among them are Zaina Falls in Tetu Sub-County. The waterfalls speak volumes on the splendid beauty of Nyeri, the home of natural and cultural richness. Welcome to Nyeri County.
Hey,